Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. I did promise earlier today that I'm going to make a little bit of a longer video just to talk about the different scenarios. Again, we started the 4-hour chart again to talk about the scenarios here on the larger time frame, looking at the price action since June, because it is so relevant. Because the market looks really good. Yeah, Bitcoin looks really good at the moment. We need to be careful not to get super bullish, but there's no reason why we shouldn't be bullish short term and maybe even starting to get bullish medium term. I mean, eventually, being honest about it, this was our trend reversal area for basically the pivot to decide between a bear market continuation with a drop below 17,590 or 500, which didn't happen, or bullish confirmation that we have a good chance to be in a bull run, or at least to rule out the imminent risk of there was a dog, to rule out the imminent risk of new bear market lows. So since then, I've been largely ignoring the bearish count for good reason. This is also the area that I really highlighted very, very clearly here in the videos for a possible trend reversal. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, first a few words about the sponsor of today's Bitcoin video, Chartprime. Chartprime is a service that provides specific TradingView indicators. There are 5 specific and unique indicators that you can only get through Chartprime if you sign up to one of their plans. These are based on quite complex algorithms and formulas and can be helpful in identifying trade setups, which means they can provide additional signals that could support your trading. Indicators can, for example, also be useful to support Elliott Wave counts to give more confidence. Of course, you don't need to apply Elliott Wave to use Chartprime, and the combination of their indicators alone can provide trade setups and signals as well. They currently offer a 30% limited time discount, so if you are interested in this, check it out. Of course, bear in mind that no indicator works 100% of the time. Here's an example of the Bitcoin chart with one of the range indicators. This indicator combines various indicators in itself, so you can adjust it to your needs, but it basically shows your range resistances, different support resistance levels based on different time frames, and it categorizes them based on their relevance. And this indicator provides you with dynamic support and resistance bands to which the price is reacting. And if you're interested in checking it out, make sure that you use the link in the video description and on their website. You can also read through testimonials and you can join their Discord community, which you can join in case you have any questions about how to use those indicators. So on this chart, I still have the bearish count, which indicates here a possible WXY structure in a wave 4 that we haven't bottomed yet in Bitcoin, that we will still see another low in a 5th wave afterwards. So basically, as per this scenario, it could be that we rally in a WXY, expanded flat pattern here. This Y wave is an A, B, C. And absolute maximum I would allow this scenario would be basically 35.5K, to be honest. It shouldn't really go any higher than that. There is one more scenario where I can imagine one more low afterwards, and I might put that onto the screen next time. Need to get some clarity about how I organize that with the other with the subwaves here, but that would indicate that the entire move down of the all-time high came down here, and that was a larger A wave. The move up here is a larger B wave, and that can go a little higher, and we would then move down here in a C wave still, right? That would be a very bearish count. That's possible as well. That might push into the 45K region. I will need to get some clarity about that, but that's sort of stuff for the background at the moment. That should really only be in the background at the moment, because there's no point in focusing on bearish scenarios as long as we hold support. I mean, we can talk about the halving again. Talked about it in one of the last videos. I think a couple of days ago, we talked about that we're now basically in the time frame where we are working towards the halving, where historically always Bitcoin has started to move up in anticipation of the halving. It's happened a few times, in my opinion, not often enough to really have it as a reliable data source. That's why I don't normally use it in my analysis. Nevertheless, we made a member live stream in December. We highlighted the potential of Bitcoin going up now that the halving is basically coming up. I think it's April or May 2024. So we clearly looked at those bear market structures, looked at the timelines, established that this is now the time frame where it should really start to move up. That was early in December. Since then, indeed, this has followed that sort of scenario. But, I don't like it really to just saying that just because something happened in the past, it will happen again. You can't say that, but it's still certainly worth knowing. It's just something interesting I observe, but it's not really, the halving is not something that I would primarily use in my analysis. This is, we've got, there's no point focusing on a bearish scenario as long as we have all those layers of bullish support or layers of support between Bitcoin's current price and new bear market lows. So this is basically where we are. And I will change it, by the way, from a primarily here WXY, which is actually not my primary expectation anymore. I do ignore it in the analysis anyway. We're talking at the moment, we have been talking for weeks now about this as a wave 1, this as a wave 2, especially as support did hold. So the third wave rally, in my opinion, is happening, or in a more bearish interpretation, the WXY pattern. But even there, we should push higher. And we've got all those layers of support. As long as they are holding, this scenario higher is going to work out. So I'm going to put the wave 2 down here, basically change it. I could actually do that now. Wave 2, Alt 2 over there. And then the WXY is sort of for info. Okay. Now let's zoom in. If we say we had a wave 1 to the upside, we had a wave 2 to the downside, what would be the ideal target for a third wave? Well, we take for that the length of the wave 1, we go to the low of the wave 2, and the minimum target here would be that 35k level that I highlighted. That would be textbook target for this third wave, but often the third waves in crypto do extend. I wouldn't be surprised to see here the 200% extension at 39k, maybe even the 2.618 extension at 45k in a third wave. We did the 2.618 extension here. The yellow third wave down here in January rallied 2.618 as much as the wave 1. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. So these are the typical Fibonacci extensions we need to have on the radar, and that would be the third wave. And then we still get a fourth and a fifth, right, in the bullish interpretation. So we take it level by level. There's nothing else that, Bitcoin is putting a pretty bullish structure in place in that it makes higher highs, it makes higher lows, it doesn't retrace a lot, it's impulsive to the upside. We've got all the confirmations we need that we are starting a decent rally, or basically we are in a rally, right? Basically we are in a rally, and this was another amazing point to buy in. Guess what? This was when the banks collapsed, and the low in November was when FTX collapsed. So again, it's the old game of be a contrarian. We talked about that in last Sunday's member only live stream. So yeah, things are coming into play. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, might go to the 1 hour chart. Don't get confused by all these boxes. They are just the support areas. Definitely the most bullish setup here that I have is a 1-2-1-2 setup. Well, we've got enough 1-2 setups to break out and get to 125k, right? It just needs to play out. What I mean here is not that it guaranteed will happen, but Bitcoin has everything it needs now in this chart to put a decent rally in. Now, I'm not saying we definitely go into a bull run, but what we can see is that we are in a decent uptrend, and the potential is certainly there. Do I believe it myself? Not really. Otherwise, I would be more bullish, but we are in an uptrend, so there's no reason to be bearish at the moment, as long as these support levels are holding. So we are going to go into the lower time frame in a minute, but what I want to point out is just these levels of support that we have. Yeah, we've got so many layers of support. I just want to highlight them here. We've got support at 27,800. No, 27,000. Yeah, 27,800. That's really the smallest degree of support we have. Really the micro support. Then we've got 27,050. Then we've got 24,940 and 21,550. Against all those levels, I mean, if one of them fails, you always have a backup, okay? So there is so much support here based on the different scenarios as per the Elliott Wave method that new bear market lows are currently quite far away, to be honest, okay? So it would really need to take a lot of effort to bring price down that much. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but just waiting and hoping for new bear market lows won't help anyone at this stage, I think. We just need to manage risk, as we always do, and focus on higher as long as the critical support levels are holding. So this is sort of where we are, right? And there are different scenarios that can play out. I mean, there's no reason to call them all out. Be aware of the key support levels, but what I want to call out is the imminent support, or the imminent setup here. If I go to the 15-minute chart, and again, there are different scenarios here that all would point to the upside as long as 21,550 is holding. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, I haven't made it primary really on the chart yet, but what I follow at the moment, and that's what I said in the last few videos, as long as we're holding 27,050, my assumption is a breakout is in play. Today was a bit of a non-event day, so it was a little bit of a boring day, to be honest. But maybe we see a little bit more action tomorrow, and as long as support levels are holding, we can assume a breakout is in play. We had even here on the micro level 5 waves up into Thursday. We had 3 waves down. This was the point where we said the overall corrective pattern is full. It doesn't need to go any lower. It's done what it needs to do. That was basically the 1-to-1 ratio between waves A and C and the golden ratio of the retracement. It reacted, rallied in 5 waves to the upside and came down in 3. So at the moment, support did hold again, and it broke out of the corrective price channel. I'm going to take that channel out now, because it could be that either it's putting an extended wave 2 in, but maybe the wave 2 is already finished, but I don't have any evidence for that. The rally was not in 5 waves yet, in my opinion. What I thought about is that we are still in the wave 4, but this is really micro counting. That's possible, of course, that this is still some kind of a wave 4 and that there is another 1-2 setup down here. So maybe I left out a 1-2, then I have a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5. That would only be the top of the third, this here a fourth, and there is one more high to come. But either way, against the support areas, we can focus on higher, right? That's where we are. And the fact that Bitcoin puts very shallow retracements in, as it seems at the moment, it just confirms my view that Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. Just the ETH BTC chart still shows a downtrend, a local downtrend for ETH BTC, which means Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. And yeah, I mean, next resistances that need to be taken out really are 28,820. And then here the 29,190 level, and then the road to 30K and more is free. So it's going to be very interesting, but the trend is clearly up. As long as here on the micro level 27,800 is holding. I mean, it could still come down lower in the wave 2, not a problem. As long as this box is holding, the trend is up. And even if we break below 27,800, it simply would reset this wave 2. We had a larger A wave down, a B wave up, and the C wave down. So again, there are a lot of layers of support. It's not that we are, you know, in a strong downtrend and we're just hovering above support. No. We have put a decent uptrend in place already, and we're just sort of pulling back into support areas here. And sometimes we don't even reach them because the market has put very shallow retracements in place since it started to rally on the 10th of March. So that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. If you're interested in more content, also check out our Twitter and Instagram. As a channel member, you can participate tomorrow in the member live stream every Sunday, 5 p.m. UTC. Tomorrow we talk about trading mindset again. For me, a very interesting topic, because I believe that mindset is for profit taking and making even more important than charting. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.